What's up, everybody? This is TheActMan here, and after questioning every aspect of my life recently, I've decided to come back. Yes! It's time to get back to doing what I love most. Because if there's one thing we can all count on in life, it's that Activision Blizzard will always find a way to make themselves look really, really good.
Why are we still here?
This is a very beloved and well-respected company within the game industry, and it has a long history of ethical business practices and decisions, and almost no history to speak of regarding controversy. I'm talking, of course, about Activision Blizzard. Yes, that one.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Those of you thinking I'm being sarcastic, well, just take a look at this article. Activision Blizzard clears itself of any wrongdoing. I mean, what more proof do you possibly need? Case closed. Now let's all pre-order Diablo 4, shall we?
Copy that.
And so because this company can't seem to go 1 month without doing something amazing, I felt we should all take the time to point out all the spectacular things AB has done recently. But before we do that, I'm proud to announce that this video is sponsored by War Thunder, a vehicular combat multiplayer game. Engage in epic dogfights across PC, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5.
Pretty smooth flying, Fox.
No purchase necessary, this bad boy is free to play. It's also cross-platform with last-gen consoles. And there's over 2,000 different vehicles with tanks, warships, helicopters, and airplanes. This game has had a whopping 50 million players worldwide. And I'm the best pilot out of all of them. There's more than 100 battlefields based on real historical events. War Thunder offers a robust PvP and PvE experience. I was very surprised by how well the planes control on mouse and keyboard. Typically you think you need joysticks. The controls here are amazing. Not to mention there's tons of different factions to choose from, so why not hop into a plane built by the USSR? Dogfights aren't just about shooting down other planes, but ground vehicles and objectives. There's so much to this game, and War Thunder is constantly being updated every few months, introducing new vehicles, maps, and other ways to play. And you can sign up for free using the link in the description and pinned comment. Doing so will get you some exclusive bonuses, which can include a premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and a 3-day account boost. So go do it! Download War Thunder using my special link, and I'll see you on the battlefield, soldier! Thank you, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
Activision Blizzard clears itself of any wrongdoing. The Call of Duty publisher says it's the victim of an unrelenting barrage of media criticism. They're the victims in all of this, you guys. But on the real, I feel like the Blizzard half of this company continues to prove how far one can fall. At this point, it's like your best buddy is hooked on crack and you've been denying it for years, but you have to face reality. Your best friend is a crack addict, and nothing you do will change that. They're never going to kick the habit. Such is my relationship with Blizzard. I love the title of this article. It is ripe for the memes. After conducting a thorough investigation, O.J. Simpson has cleared himself of any wrongdoing. I can only hope this company is getting all their shitty behavior out before they get acquired by Microsoft. So this article is about that, that big sexual harassment lawsuit. Wait, can I still say sexual? You know that lawsuit that alleged female employees were being harassed because they were females? There we go. That they were being discriminated against, paid less, being passed up for promotions because they might get preggers, and all manner of horrible things. Remember that lawsuit? Well, luckily, after a thorough investigation, Activision Blizzard has decided that you're totally crazy, dude. You're not being gaslit. And there never was any systemic issue with harassment, discrimination, or retaliation at AB. Well, thank goodness for that. Now we can all rest easy. This investigation was conducted by a Activision Blizzard board of directors, and I'm sure this group held no bias whatsoever towards the company they were representing, or were subtly encouraged to portray it in a positive light. But the article continues, there is no evidence to suggest that AB senior executives ever intentionally ignored or attempted to downplay the instances of gender harassment that occurred and were reported. Basically, leadership wasn't aware and therefore you can't hold them accountable. I mean, fair enough, I wasn't there, I didn't lead this investigation. I have no idea what the truth is aside from the company settling this lawsuit for $18 million. God damn. Well, good for those employees that won the big bucks. And good for Activision Blizzard because they've since made back all of that money with the release of Diablo Immortal, a perfectly ethical video game. So no biggie. I'm gonna go buy some legendary gems now. Here in America, we stand by the belief that if you have problems, you should be able to throw money at it and watch it all disappear. That is a true American belief. Whatever the case is, I think we can all agree that something happened at the company for this lawsuit to be settled for $18 million. This is just paying for silence, you know? I mean, the fact that there were allegations of employees stealing breast milk is...
What?
Breast milk. I have several questions. Number one, who's bringing breast milk to work and to Activision Blizzard? And number two, who at Activision Blizzard is stealing breast milk? Apparently they have like some internal nursery or something, which I get, you know. Activision Blizzard devs demand breastfeeding protections and other reforms. They're advocating for the safety of their breast milk. I think it's safe to say we live in a society. But apparently a group of employees at AB have banded together with a list of demands, and one of those is to have witnesses at HR meetings. That sentence just makes me feel dirty, dude. Like what the fuck happened in these meetings for workers to demand witnesses?
You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4.
They say they want all HR meetings documented. But don't worry, says Blizzard spokesperson Jessica Taylor. We have, for example, already upgraded our lactation facilities. And I just learned that Activision Blizzard has lactation facilities. Jesus, they have a whole list of breastfeeding related demands. I mean, you go girl and all that. I just find this whole concept extremely bizarre. But then again, I also have a penis. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand. Maybe I'm supposed to support. Apparently the internet also turned private detective trying to uncover who the identity of this mysterious Robin Hood of breast milk was, and they might have narrowed it down. Now I can't find a high quality shot of this 4chan post, but according to this Kotaku article, apparently some guy said he worked at a large tech company, that he often raided the lactation room. He would then pour some of the milk into a water bottle, drinking it before a workout for maximum gains.
Ew! Get out of here, man!
Back in November, thousands of employees had also staged a walkout in protest of Bobby Kotick and asking him to resign. I mean, that's just crazy. So good for them for sticking up for workers' rights, and I hope they win, and I hope Activision Blizzard treats its employees better. So now that I can't do ad breaks, here's the part where I promote my Patreon. Please consider donating. I can't promise a whole bunch of rewards, but I do make exclusive posts there informing people about upcoming videos and plans. So moving on, back in May, AB announced this King's Diversity tool, which drew a lot of criticism, and for good reason. They, quickly rewrote this article, but thankfully the Wayback Machine exists. But I feel it's important to note that the people who designed this system disavowed this article and the way AB was trying to use it. So let's take a look at the original article and then compare it to the new one. So what is this diversity tool? Well, it's a way for Activision Blizzard to assign number values to a character based on their physical disabilities, gender, race, ethnicity, skin color, sexual orientation, you name it, and assign a number value to that. grading its diversity. With this innovative new system, the character design process now has a dystopian, tangible way of avoiding tokenism, stereotypes, and exclusion. I love how they bring up tokenism while admitting how much value they place on characters simply for their diversity rating, as I'll call it. Like, isn't that what tokenism is? Including characters not because of the value they add as a fictional person, but rather the checkbox that they mark off. I find something just inherently distasteful about that philosophy. These mother truckers also grade characters based on, like, disabilities. Like, God, this is so fucking weird, man. I'm creeped out. I feel like spiders are crawling up my legs right now. It's like, even when Activision Blizzard is trying to do something good, they end up doing something terrible instead. I mean, yeah, you can say this is from a good place, like, yeah, we want to see ourselves represented in games, don't we all? The question that does remain is this: how do we convert this feedback from a collective desire into a tangible reality? It's like, maybe you can't. The Diversity Space Tool is a measurement device to help identify how diverse a set of character traits are, and in turn how diverse that character and casts are when compared to the norm. Implying there is some kind of diversity standard or lack thereof. Like, what is the norm for diversity? Like, you can quantify how diverse a group of people are, but you can't attach a number value to an individual. Like, that's so weird. Maybe this tool can be used for something good, but the way Blizzard represented it feels dystopian. Like, imagine if the government got a hold of this. You also can't really trust Activision Blizzard to mean what they say when they say diversity is important to them. Like, this company is mathematically engineering its video game characters to appeal to the broadest demographic possible, which isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just, we're talking about Activision Blizzard.
You don't want to do that. You think you do, but you don't.
So you bet your sweet buns that diversity and money are two inextricable terms to them. Alana Cole says the tool was tested by the dev teams working on Call of Duty Vanguard. We used the diversity tool to figure out what more diversity looks like across all our characters in both campaign, multiplayer, and live seasons. See, I knew I was onto something when I was talking about how boring and uninspired the Vanguard cast of characters were. Like it feeds into that idea that these games are being mathematically engineered, scientifically engineered to be as diverse as possible. Not because it makes the games better, but because they want to appeal to everyone. I feel like when I can tell that you're trying to be diverse and it doesn't feel natural, then it feels like there's an ulterior motive there, and it turns me off. Overwatch is actually pretty good about its diversity and variety of characters because the basis of the story is the best operators from all over the world coming together, and it's a hero shooter. It makes sense. The diversity in Overwatch is cool. The Overwatch 2 team at Blizzard also had a chance to experiment with the tool with equally enthusiastic first impressions. Now let's look at the updated article. I'm surprised they didn't start with, "It seems this blog post struck a nerve." There has been conversation online regarding this tool, particularly concerning its intent and our commitment to diversity. We've edited this blog post to clarify that this prototype is not being used in active game development.
So that was a fucking lie.
It's not being used in active game development, folks. It's only being used in COD Vanguard and Overwatch 2. How could you walk back this straight up lie, you know? The objective of using the tool is to uncover unconscious bias by identifying existing norms and representation and acknowledging growth opportunities for inclusion. I'ma keep it real with you, Activision Blizzard. This isn't gonna make people forget about that massive sexual harassment lawsuit. The tool identifies what stereotypical characters in different genres look like, which are not always the most conducive or representative of diversity. Yeah, but sometimes stereotypes are fun in video games. Just look at the cast of the Call of Duty Zombies crew. Exaggerated stereotypes, when applied equally, allow us to all laugh at ourselves. I don't know, this whole article just feels like such a robotic, sterile, cold, and corporate way of looking at character creation in video games. games. Like, why do you need some kind of diversity calculator in order to make good, unique characters? I just feel like that's normal storytelling, that's art. It comes from a passion to deliver an experience or a feeling to people. Moreover, why do you need to brag about this tool and write up a blog post if your motives aren't to get brownie points? Especially alarming is how you removed all reference of it being used in active game development. Like, come on, we know you're using this in Overwatch 2. Speaking of Overwatch 2, Overwatch 2 will be a free-to-play live service. God damn it.
Oh no, not again.
I feel like the term live service has just been completely soured over the years. I'm sure Blizzard can handle it, but you know, with how they've created Diablo Immortal, everyone has to start asking some serious questions about what kind of ethical problems Overwatch 2 is going to have, because you know it's going to have some of those. And while this game is marketed as a sequel, it's more like a blob that's going to absorb the current Overwatch and change it into something you may like or may not. Apparently the format is switching from 6v6 to 5v5, which I feel like poses a lot of problems. With only one tank on each team, it's like, I'm sure it'll be fun, but I stopped playing Overwatch because the game felt more and more restrictive with later updates and changes. Role queue takes so much fun out of the game. You know, part of the appeal of Overwatch is that you could change characters at any point, and now you can't. Now you have to be a specific class of character and stick to that. Like, imagine if they did this to League of Legends. God damn, people would be pissed. The free-to-play nature is likely there to lower your expectations for what a sequel should be. And if you like the current version of Overwatch, well, too bad. It's going to be replaced entirely, whether you like that or not. Some of the other highly advertised features include maps, but the time of day is different. You mean the bright map is now dark and the dark map is now bright? What? I don't know if this is just me, but I'd be much more excited for Overwatch 2. Number one, if AB wasn't such a terrible company, but also if it was marketed as like a full-priced sequel. Just sell me the game, you know? Overwatch is still fun. However, with Blizzard's track record, I wouldn't be surprised if the breast milk was stolen with this one too. Luckily, they've been focusing on the important things, like changing McCree's name to Cole Cassidy. I'm still calling him McCree. Moving on to Diablo Immortal. I always feel like Blizzard intentionally packages terrible news or terrible games with things they know people are going to be excited about. I can't tell if they were trying to be crafty or stupid with showing Diablo 4 gameplay just 10 days after Immortal came out. Diablo Immortal, if you don't know, is one of the most insidious examples of video game monetization in history. Blizzard has gone so far down the path of greed, they've actually outdone themselves, with Immortal having beaten the previous record for lowest Metacritic user score, a record previously held by Blizzard, with Warcraft 3 Reforged. Now, for shits and giggles, let's see how much money we would have to spend based on the odds to get a 5-star gem, the best kind of item. This app calculates how much it could potentially cost you to get a 5-star legendary gem. In fact, one streamer had spent over $10,000 without getting one. Well, would you look at that? Only 6,925 buckaroos. And you only have to complete 2,770 dungeons. What a steal! Now, we all know mobile games have a tendency to be monetized in ways that are questionable, but the extent of Immortal and the fact that it comes from Blizzard, it just pushes the boundaries of video game monetization in ways yet unseen by man. Truly, some demonic forces have taken over at Blizzard, but it's much more likely that they've been there the whole time. It's very insidious how the store is specifically set up to encourage players to buy the $25 bundle of gems by making the other bundles just shy the amount of orbs you need to buy legendary gems. Just like how Blizzard is mathematically engineering diversity, so too has Diablo Immortal been mathematically perfected to be the most profitable video game possible. Red Shirt Guy tried to warn us.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
He tried to stop Diablo Immortal from releasing, from infecting the phones of innocent people, and we didn't listen. We didn't listen.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
Blizzard also tried to warn us. Quickly, burn your phone, everyone, so you don't install Diablo Immortal. Take that! Just when you thought loot boxes were done for and on the path to obscurity, just when you thought the industry, consumers, and fucking lawmakers all agreed that loot boxes were gambling and terrible, well, Blizzard has successfully found a way to reintroduce loot boxes while trying to sidestep gambling laws. Yeah, luckily it didn't fool the people of Belgium or other countries where this practice is prohibited now. I can't say I'm surprised by this level of dedication to reintroduce loot boxes. Blizzard does not have to disclose the odds of these legendary gems and whatnot because technically there's some in-game skill required to get to the loot box, and therefore isn't gambling. All of this stuff is described in perfect detail in the video The Immoral Design of Diablo Immortal by Josh Strife Hayes, and I highly recommend watching that. Diablo Immortal sets a new low for gaming, but also Blizzard. At least with loot boxes in Overwatch, like the cute and fun characters gave some kind of justification for purchase, but the stuff you buy in Diablo Immortal is to progress the actual game. Bruh, like I said, it seems AB always has some new game to announce right around the time a bunch of people are really pissed off at them. Sir, more allegations of sexual harassment in the workplace have surfaced. Oh, no problem. How's that trailer for Overwatch 2 coming? Doesn't this new video game make you forget about all the stolen breast milk at our company? Torbjorn says no to sexual harassment. I don't know, man. Big companies like this tend to show you who they really are with their actions and not their meaningless words. As funny as it is that stuff like stolen breast milk can be a punchline for my many, many jokes, the truth is that some pretty terrible things happened at Blizzard, most likely. But humor is how I always deal with tragedy. In any case, it's hard to be excited for any upcoming Blizzard games given their horrible track record. Truth is, if they were to announce Warcraft 4, I'd probably be like, great, can't wait to see how they ruin that one too. That's where my mind is at with Blizzard games. The only new stuff I'm interested from them is re-releasing old games, like Wrath of the Lich King. But who knows, maybe Activision Blizzard will get acquired by Microsoft, and this will all be some horrible dream that we look back on and laugh. So thank you all for watching the misadventures of Activision Blizzard. They are a hilariously bad company. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it and subscribe. Don't forget to check out War Thunder in the description below. Make sure you click the link in the description and download it today to get those exclusive rewards. And a big thank you to all my new patrons. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is TheActMan signing out. Peace!